Gingham. I think you say Gingham. Do you say Gingham here too? I don't even know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, hi. So how are you doing, my loves? How was your week? Hope it was well. So I haven't done one of these in a little while, isn't it? Just like sitting down talking to you. And I thought I would do this video now because you're going to see everyone coming out with these videos. I mean, it's already started, but I thought, you know, let me just do it now, get out of the way. That way I just don't feel later on like, oh God, everyone's done it, so I can't be bothered now. But this is my thoughts on what's going to be coming for fall 2025 and what we're going to be wearing, because this video is going up when we're sort of coming to the curve down of summer. I would say in the next 2 weeks, you're going to start seeing the early pre-fall. You've probably already seen it already, but more and more the pre-fall of what's coming for the next season. That's how fashion is. It works a little bit ahead. But I thought, let me just discuss what I think are going to be the predictions, things that I've personally seen during Fashion Week and things that I've just been looking at online in terms of what I think is going to be coming down for fall 2025 and what we're going to be wearing. Things maybe we already have that we can interpret and wear. That can be actually a separate video of things that we have right now that can be reimagined for the next season, which I think is just like the best way to dress anyway, with a little bit peppering in what is new. All right, so my first, I think, prediction for fall 2025 is just going to be the color red. You're going to see more and more of that color, but as an accent. I think red is such a strong color that a lot of us sort of shy away from it. But I think that sort of pillar box true red, I think is such a perfect accent. It will replace burgundy. This is just my thoughts. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think red is one of those colors that just pairs really, really well with a lot of colors that we already have in our wardrobe, and that works well too with the fall. Think about the colors of brown. Red will go well with it. Black will go well with it. Camel, navy as well pairs well with red. Orange pairs well with red. And all of these colors I just mentioned are colors that you normally see during the fall. So red is a perfect accent in my opinion. Bags from the past. That's another one for fall 2025. You're already starting to see it, but because so many creative directors now are almost looking at that 20-year mark of when bags were like first coming out for their design house, they're reissuing them. They're tweaking them in some way, but they're bringing back bags of the past, archival bags. And that alone is going to like encourage more people to shop more pre-loved, because you can get it direct from when it first came out. So there's going to be continued rise in that. A, from a budget standpoint, and B, it just has that cool clout girl factor that you're just buying something that was the original, was the OG. It's why I talk about Balenciaga city bags, for example, so much. Even getting that that Gucci horsebit bag, which I'm actually going to show you right now because I love that bag. Even though I had the 1955 horsebit, which is a bag that, you know, came around from 1955, and I'm going to show you the reissue this bag. I'm also going to show you on the screen. I think I should be able to by the time you see this video. Yeah, I'm going to show you on screen what was the first issue of the 1955 horsebit bag, and it looks quite different to actually how this looks, but this is what they came up with based on this first iteration, which I'll show you somewhere on the screen. So it just goes to show you how far they came along, especially with Gucci, but it shows they never gave up on that style. They just kept redoing it, refining it, remodernizing it, reimagining it. This is from the original collection with Gucci. I think this is from the Tom Ford era. And this is just such a good bag. I found this at the Manhattan Vintage Show, and I've mentioned it before in another video. I just love it to pieces. It's so cool to be worn just as a clutch, you know, on your shoulder as well. It gives that kind of 90s feel because of the low kind of short drop on it. I love that elongated east-west of it, the leather accents and the web, the Gucci web, and that oversized horsebit was such a classic part of the Gucci heritage that they've kept going with throughout whoever is the creative director. So I love having this one because it's like the OG, it's the original. I think there's something so cool, effortless about this one. So I wanted to show you that as an example, but I think you're going to see more and more people, myself included, who will just continue to show love and appreciation for the original versions of what the creative directors are now are coming out with as reinterpreting and reimagining them. And especially during the fall 2025, you're going to see more of that as well. Colors, again, brown is going to continue to be a strong color for the next season. It already was for the past, just before past winter and the fall. It's coming back around again. It shows no signs of slowing down. It's not being replaced. It's there again. So anything you bought that was brown, and in particular brown suede, those two combinations, it's still going to be around for next season. So you're good with that, and that's going to be showing. I noticed that showing through anything, accessories. It could be brown suede boots, it could be brown bags, which is probably the #1 way to show it. But you're going to be seeing it for sure. Super long coats as well. I've been seeing anyway during the runways, you find that the coats of winter and the fall are always super long, and then for the high street when they hit, they tend to be shorter. I think they're gonna play with that, the high street, and they're finally gonna be like, all right, let's just try. We won't make them a tripping hazard, but let's make them a little bit longer, because that seems to be the continuity in terms of like a silhouette. And I think you're going to see more and more longer line coats coming out, which is amazing. Tall girls, we love them. Even if you're not, you can always have one customized to that's the right length for you, so it's super long. I just think it looks so cool, so effortless. Also sticking with coats, you're going to see more cape style coats, whether it's a cape or whether it's a cape effect. Just the caping is just going to be an overall trend, an overall category in outerwear, especially. I say especially because there's already so many coats that are made that way, where they already have like the matching cape that goes across your shoulders. It just looks so chic. It's just such an effortless look. It feels so timeless. I love how it works on any age, whether you are 14, 40 or 84. I just think it just looks forever timeless, forever classic. And you're going to see more and more of that for 2025, more offerings of that. I remember when we just saw the Celine 2026 collection, you saw even cardigans that were styled in such a way, like on one shoulder, to look like a cape effect on top of another top or knit. And that's such a clever but easy style way to just take what you already have and to just literally just cape it. So I love that, and I love seeing that there's going to be more of that coming for 2025 as well into 2026. Big shoulders, 100%. It's something that hasn't gone anywhere, and it still isn't. I think a lot of us still love it. I know I do as well. Houses such as Stella McCartney was coming down the runway with like the massive shoulders. Chloe, Saint Laurent as well, you know, especially under like blouses. I love that look. It's very 80s, I know, and it's something that you're either into or you're not. I love it. I think it looks so fucking cool. It's just like the sickest to me. And I love seeing something like the 80s shoulder pad being brought back and reinterpreted and made to feel so like cool and effortless and not like cheesy. So I think you're still going to see more and more of that. Ferragamo as well, I've got my notes down, also showed that. So it's not going anywhere, and you're still going to see it. Snake print is another one. Animal prints in general, I think you're going to see a lot more of that being pushed forward as like options to accent the solid colors of like, you know, your jewel tones, the reds, the camels, which is a forever, and the browns. The accents of snake as well, you're going to see more of, whether it's in the shoe, whether it's in the bag. I got this bag, I'm going to show it to you now, and it is a hobo style bag, and it's very soft and slouchy, but it just ticks off the boxes with having that kind of just cool slouchy bag look, which is another trend for fall 2025. But also it's just such a cool, easy way to just, like I said, add that point of differentiation and dimension to your outfits, is to add that snake print. Sticking with slouch, etc., is going to be just the slouchy bag. Bags aren't as hard as they used to be. They're making them increasingly softer, slouch, like puddles. So you put it down, it just kind of just pools. You know, things where you can just like do this and they just look so like cool to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, just clutch it under you, and it just has that really cool, effortless look. I even love it with this. I'm just wearing like baggy wide leg jeans and like this men's denim shirt, and I love that look together. So you're going to see more and more of that, I reckon, for the next season. Tod's did it with their shoes coming down the runway, and others have done it as well. Stella did it. I think Chloe did it as well. And other designers, I think Alexander McQueen did it. So it's just one of those things that when you quote these designers, it's because the high street is watching, and they're going to turn around and just like filter it down to their shops, and you'll end up seeing it as well. So I think snakeskin is going to be one of those. I personally love snakeskin anyway, so it's like one of my forever favorites. It's so edgy. It feels very rock and roll. And yeah, I'll link this one if you're interested. But snake, yes. Belts. I think we're going to see a return to more unusual looking belts. I think last year was more about that very ultra thin skinny belt, even like a string or a rope, ultra thin, you know, to go across a sort of heavier coat. And it does have a very cool minimalist, almost Calvin Klein, the Rogue Kate feel. But speaking of Kate, you know, you're going to see that return to seeing like the larger belt, the unique. Remember when Loewe with the Obi belt that everyone was wearing for a while? Imagine the updated version to that, right? So I'm thinking again of the recent Celine show that just debuted like a few weeks ago, and just think about that belt that stuck out in my brain, stuck out in Michael's brain too. As we all know, Michael is very much into fashion now. Who knew? But he even mentioned that belt from the Celine show. It's just like this wide tan belt up on the screen, and it had like this oversized, looking like a needle that was like going horizontal. That kind of play on structure and just that contrast with the coats and the outerwear, to me, is such an easy way, sorry, I'm speechless, to just add that differentiation and just to modernize what you've already got. You know, just think about, you don't have to get that particular belt. You know, it's just inspiration, isn't it, for you? So you just go down to any other high street, love going to vintage, and just see what they've got. Think about what you've just seen or what we've seen on the runway, and then just think about that. Keep that on your mind. Take pictures of it, screenshot it, keep that as inspiration. So when you're actually shopping, you're shopping with that intention of adding that really cool wide belt that you've seen, and then you just find your own version of it. I think that's such a great way. Fashion should always be about being unique for yourself and in your own wardrobe. And I think these runway shows that I mentioned, that we see and hear of, these are just inspiration for all of us to just think about, okay, I saw that. So what's my version of it going to look like? And that's what I want this video to be. It's not just about listing what the trends are, but think about how you can add it to your own wardrobe. Also, glasses. I think we're going to see more 70s style sunglasses. I saw that style of tinted lens glass that was running through a few of the runway collections. The glass could be any tint, but as long as it's a tint, it could be a blue tint, yellow tint, red. You know, it's got that tint to it, and it just gives that very cool, effortless kind of course, I'm going to grab a pair of glasses now, so just stay right there. You know, these particular two I'm going to bring out are very big. They're Tom Fords, and they're very, very oversized. But the whole point is it's a tinted glass. Maybe not even these. I think this one is more what I'm talking about. It needs to feel very kind of retro in a way. It just has that kind of oversized but tinted glass where you can still see my eyes through them. But the point is, it gives a very kind of retro leaning look to your outfits. And I can see that happening both for men and for women. And it's just a very easy way to toe dip into instantly giving a throwback look to any of your full outfits. And I think it's such an instant way to look super cool, and it just feels elevated, it feels chic, but it feels very fashion forward, but not too on the nose. You know, you're mixing it in with what you've already got, so you're not looking like a costume, like extra detective out of Narcos. And I love that. I mean, we're going to see, but I already noticed, especially after going to the Tom Brown show, I saw the mix of gingham and just check. I think in America you call it plaid. I call them gingham. I think you say gingham. Do you say gingham here too? I don't even know. Let me know in the comments. But gingham, right? That small check, but they played with that two ways. One, they made the plaid or checked shirt the neutral. It became the white shirt, right? Second, they did like check on check, so mixing the prints. So two different colors and just putting them together. And it could be two shirts. It could be just playing with the neutral of the tie with the shirt. That's a different, you know, it's the whole point is just like the play on the shirting and the fact that it's just like a check. I love that. And I think that's something I want to see more of. Sort of like branching out from that, men's tie, the menswear. Men's ties, I think, was one of those things that broke out anyway for the past season, especially with Saint Laurent. You're seeing that whole like homage to Saint Laurent himself, and you saw like so many of the models came down the runway wearing sort of their own versions of the Saint Laurent suit inspired by Saint Laurent himself. And including right down to the shirt and the tie. I think the tie is one of those breakouts, like I said, that you're going to see more of during 2025. Easy for you to add into your wardrobe. I did it for the Paul Smith show. It's one of those things that's so easy to find. That tie that I found was thrifted. It's one of my favorite ties from Beacon's Closet in Brooklyn, Williamsburg. You can do it too. It's such an easy way to just add a sense of personality as well to your wardrobe. And I think 2025, you're going to see more of that, probably just offered in like under the stories and Mango. You're just going to see like neckties and just seeing how you just add them into your wardrobe. I love them. Try it. It's just, I just think it looks so cool. But that is it, my loves. That is like a really short, quick and easy video that I wanted to do for you on what I think are going to be the next trends for 2025. I could do a part 2, but I'll leave this one right there for now. I wanted, like I said, to get this in July when it's still the summertime. I didn't want to put this into like this time next month because everyone's going to be doing videos about the fall. I wanted to do mine right now. Let me know what you thought about the trends, what I think is going to be coming for the next season. Is there anyone particular that I've named in this video that you liked? If there was, give this video a thumbs up. I'd love to know which one it was. Comment below. Tell me what you think. I'm going to add some links below to everything. Either if it's not something that you've seen on the overlay as a screen here, then just any kind of versions that I think will help you to add those kind of trends into your wardrobe. I'll leave some links in the description box so you can get some ideas on how to kind of get that look yourself and the kind of things that I think look really spot on, and some things are actually going to be available that you can actually get the actual of, like this, which I know is still available. But that is my lot. I will see you on TikTok and Instagram, obviously, between then. Do not forget, subscribe to my channel. Do not miss next week's video. And that is it. I'm going to go. See you next week. Bye.